Hello everyone, Atkpwr here with another How to Build the Divisions series with 9th Infantry, Romanian Infantry. If you guys enjoyed these, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and consider checking out that Patreon link down below. Thank you everyone who has supported or currently is supporting me over there. It really does help me out a lot. So 9th Infantry, the ugly cousin of the Romanian divisions. Now we know very well that there are several very good Romanian divisions in this game, and not just to me, right? 5th Cav, 8th Cav, 6th Corporal can be very strong as well. Then there's kind of the ugly duckling in the room, 9th Infantry. This division kind of feels like a bad first Blindata, essentially. And first Blindata is not like a super strong division as it is, so that just puts this thing down in like C tier. Now, there are certain things about this division that are pretty good, but it just feels like here and there, and I'm going to try to point out the points where I feel this way. It just feels like, it almost feels like it was purposely left bad. Like, it would have been so easy to make this division really good or really solid at least, and it just was like, nah, we just aren't going to do that. We're going to let this division suffer. Romanians are good enough. That's honestly kind of how it feels in a lot of spots in this division. But yeah, there are some really nice, like, cool little neat things about this division, and there are some parts I really like about it, and then there's other parts that just drag it down so hard or just come up short, and it's really frustrating. But let's dive into this division here. So our recon tab, very strong, as many as of the Romanian divisions are. We, of course, have our Karadashi here. We're vetting them in A and B. Oh, I did forget. I'm sorry. We're playing this Maverick. This division does not have the depth to play balanced at all. There's way too many thin tabs that you need to have a lot of to survive balance. This division can't do it. Vanguard's also very good for this division. I'm just kind of auto-picking Maverick. I'm not a Vanguard fan myself. I really don't like Vanguard. That's not to say Vanguard is bad. I just personally don't like the playstyle. But Maverick, I definitely think works really well. Definitely Vanguard, though, as well, are good for this, which is why we're vetting these Karadashi. 8 of these is plenty for the game with single vet. It does make a difference. We do want that veterancy. We can see here it does, make our sniper hit basically all the time. Gives another 2 rounds. And the sniper is the main part of this unit, right? You get the Karadashi because of the sniper. The straight pull rifles are really nice, and it does allow this thing to actually put out some pretty good damage at 500 meter range, but it has no LMG, right? The sniper is kind of like substituting for an LMG. And then you get a Panzerfaust. I mean, this unit is phenomenal, has been forever, and will continue to be, hopefully, unless they nerf it, if they just decide this is the only sniper unit they hate. Maybe if they finally nerf snipers in general, this unit will probably still be very good, because for a recon unit to have a sniper and a Panzerfaust for 30 points to be a full infantry squad, hard to beat. Then we have an AB horse card here. We want our autocannon cards. These are very important to the aggressive play style of this division. You need these to get up close and personal to your opponent, get in their face, get around their lines, pick up the kills in the infantry squads, because your infantry are not phenomenal, so the support of these units is really important, and to be able to fight in those tight areas, because we're limited to Panzer IVs and Shug 3s, these guys kind of do your in-town fighting. Then in B phase, we have the SPW MiG-20 mil. This is, unfortunately, the low ammo thing. It is an okay unit. I mean, it's fine. There's nothing, wrong with this unit, other than this ammo thing. It just runs at ammo extreme fast, which is why we put these in B phase and these in A phase. The horses can go a good chunk of the game. Like, they can get into B phase, generally speaking, and still have ammo left. These guys will probably be out by, 6-7 minutes if you're really using them. Which is weird because there's only 80 less rounds, but that 80 rounds makes a huge difference. It just does. It's not even close. The units we are leaving at home here, up the bike, as always. The Lunettist. It's just a 2-man sniper team, and as I've talked about in several videos, 2-man sniper teams just don't make the cut these days. If they're the only snipers I have, I would use them. Absolutely. They are obviously not, right? That we have way better snipers here. There's absolutely no reason to take these guys, honestly. The Moto here, I mean, these guys have a Panzerfaust at least. Like, they can at least be sneaky AT. So in terms of a 4-man, well, it's really not 4, it's 5. In terms of a 5-man, recon team, I would pick this before a lot of others. But the issue is it's 5 more points, right? It's not like the Spetsrup, which are only 20 points. These are 25. So now you're getting into the range of, like, a normal infantry squad cost at 25 points. And all you're getting is 5 men with a weird mix of weapons, right? Long, medium, short. So it's not good at anything. And a Panzerfaust. So, no. You don't need it. And more Kalarashi, which we can't fit in, unfortunately. Infantry tab. So herein lies one of the first screws of the division. What? You don't even have enough actual infantry to fill out the tab. Like, if I put the last Infanteristi squad in, I don't have any more infantry to put in. Why? Why do you have, like, no infantry? It's 9th Infantry. It's an infantry division. And I don't even have enough infantry to actually fill the deck out. And, like, this comes up a lot on older divisions because they've updated them and they've changed things and all. Okay, fine. Eugen didn't look, again, feels like not that much work, but point being, fine. This is a newer division. Like, it came out like this. Why don't you have enough infantry? It's stupid. But getting into it, the big issue here with this infantry, first off, not having enough of them, and secondly, a lot of them are these Infanteristi, which are not good. Like, they just aren't very good. They're 20-point, the standard 20.1 LMG infantry. You know, I'm taking the one here with the Panzerfaust. There's plenty of them without Panzerfaust. There's not plenty, actually. There's one card of each. One card of this and 2 cards of the non-Panzerfaust. They're just not good. Like, I like ZB30s. I do. I really do. When there's 2 of them. When there's only 1, they're pretty lackluster. Yeah, I just it's not a good unit. Then we have our Recruitsi. Also still not a good unit. Like, it's just a disheartened version of the bad infantry. The only reason I'm taking it is a very high availability here for the same cost. You could probably spam these and see, but they're still 20 points. They're not exactly spammable. They are spammable, but they're not spammable, right? 15-point infantry are spammable. That's your spammy infantry. I'm not going to air quote that, actually, because they are spammy infantry at 15 points. At 20 points, they're spammy only because they're cheaper than most other infantry, but they're still not really spammy like 15-point infantry. So, yeah, they don't even do that. Yeah, they got an LMG. That's nice. Pionieri here. It's a Pioneer squad. There's nothing wrong with it. There's nothing spectacular about it either. It's here because we need some sort of CQC. And you notice our CQC isn't actually that good, despite the special unit in this division being a CQC unit. Then we have the Venatori Moto here. These are solid infantry. For 25 points, a double ZB30 unit, it's fine. It's not amazing. It's good, but not amazing. Again, Roshiori are distinctly better at the same price. Like, distinctly better than these. And these guys are just sort of mid. Like, they're okay. They get the job done. Would I prefer just a 30-point Panzergun squad? Absolutely. Absolutely, I would. Then I am taking the Lieutenant Assault here. So the argument is basically between the Lieutenant Venatori Moto here and the Lieutenant Assault. The Lieutenant Pionieri, I don't really see a reason to take this one. He's not bringing anything special to the table. This one you could argue because it's 20 points, the Infanteristi leader. But the reason we're really focusing on these two is 2 things. So this one is 30 points, which does suck. But it comes in with double veterancy and you still get 3 availability. That's a pretty big deal. Remember, when you double vet a leader, the leadership ring actually gets bigger. So you get a bigger zone of influence for less leaders. So that in of itself is very valuable. There's absolutely, it can't be overstated that is very helpful. The other thing this unit has is a Panzerfaust, which is nice. It's nice that it's got a little bit of AT on it to help your units out. You know, that can't be understated, that units having a little bit of handheld AT does go a long way in keeping your units alive. If your opponent knows you have no AT on your infantry, they can really aggressively run you down, and it can really suck and be a crappy experience. The other option here is the Venatori Moto here. Now, this unit is great. Don't get me wrong. Double Sniper is very strong. We all know what the Takampoya are like out of the Rukma decks, out of the Finnish decks. My issue with this unit is I don't really want my leaders to be on the front lines shooting stuff. They die really easily. 3-man squads are probably the weakest squads in the game because 2-man squad on the whole, many of the 2-man squads actually secretly have 4 health. Okay, I know there's no way to know that, but like Flammenwerfers, Flamer units, they actually have 4 health. That's how they live so long. That's how they don't ever seem to die, is because they actually have 4 health secretly baked into them. These guys do not. They have 3 health, which is worse. and noticeably worse. I think like 2-man recon teams are some of the only actual 2-man health squads. So that it really sucks, and you need leaders. Like, you can't be losing your leaders blasting sniper and stuff all over the map. So that's why I'm not taking these guys. They are very good, and I've taken them in other decks, but I'm trying to play a little more cautiously and keep my leaders alive here. So then we have the special unit of this division, and it is very good. The Atkpwr Assault. I don't know if I'm saying that right, and I apologize if it is wrong. This unit is chonky and very good. It's a 14-man team with shock. They have 4 Ritas, 8 rifles, 2 ZB30s, and a grenade. That's phenomenal. That is phenomenal. Don't get me wrong. The issue, and here it comes again, this unit is not actually that strong at CQC. It's only got 4 submachine guns. Now, they're solid submachine guns, but they're not like the best in the game or anything. 2 ZB30s, which are technically okay at CQC because they're assault rifles, so they do suppress, and they got a grenade. This guy comes up against like a double flamer unit, it loses basically every time. It just doesn't have it. Now, it is chonky, and this is a good unit. Do not get me wrong when I say this. This is a very good unit. At 25 points with 18 availability on 1 vet, it's great. Like, it is. It's actually phenomenal, which is the reason I'm only single betting, because I want 18 of these in B. I want my entire B phase to be these guys, because they are very good. But they're not like a super duper good CQC unit. They lose in the forest to a lot of stuff, which is a problem. That means you basically have no actual CQC in this deck. You have 1 card of Pionieri, and then you have this card. That's not enough. And it's not strong enough for the limited amount you get. It really sucks. You almost can't step into a woods. It's painful. Then you have Venatori Moto here with a Panzerfaust, and you have to round out with Infanteristi because this is all you get. It's a bad infantry tab for an infantry division. In a Romanian infantry division, which, you know, tend to be really strong infantry. These suck. Like, they really do. They suck. These guys are cool, and they're solid, and they're good, but they're not good at what they need to be good at for this division. Venatori are fine. If I found them in non-Romanian decks, I would say, okay, these guys are really good. But compared to their other Romanian brethren, these guys are underwhelming. They just don't do it. And the other Infanteristi and stuff are crappy 20-point infantry. Like, meh. The tank tab, not much to see here. It's T4s and TAs, which are Panzer 4s and Stug 3s. One thing with this Panzer 4 is it has a heat shell that is absolutely useless. I don't understand. I do understand what happened. This used to be good back when ranges were all like 2K and everything was different. They changed it, and now the heat shells on these units have become utterly useless. Even if the Panzer IV is firing at maximum range, it's still penning 100 millimeters of armor relatively consistently. When you go to the heat shell, you are now losing a ton of accuracy for not really any benefit in penetration value. So it makes no sense to have this heat shell on there. It actually just requires you to spend more micro time microing off the heat shell, which is really annoying. Then a Stug 3 is just a Stug 3. I mean, yeah, this is fine. There's nothing amazing. We're double vetting everything because we're Maverick and we're going for it. You know, we have 2 cards here in A and a card in B. If you want to switch more Panzer IVs in, that's fine. They're better at supporting your infantry. But obviously the TAs are better at killing tanks and matching up because they have better armor. Support tab. Bad like every Romanian division support tab is. We have Flamers. We have the Hotchkiss here in A. Hotchkiss is basically the sad brother of the 50 cal. We have a Commandant here because we do have some infantry, some leaders that can really get some leadership out. And truthfully, there's not much else in the support tab that I feel the need to take. MG34s in B, and then we have ammo. Otherwise, everything else is just redundant stuff. The Ford is cool looking, though. I feel like they're pushing like a gangster, pushing a guy out the door right now. Into the anti-tank tab. This is a very good tab. This one definitely is redeeming. We have the Venatori Ducata. These are phenomenal. They're a big, chunky 7-man Panzerschreck squad with 5 submachine guns and a grenade. That's great. The 2 rifles is annoying as AF because these guys will shoot at stuff at long range, and you do not want that at all. You do miss out on the exceptional stealth of the Panzerschreck unit. Do be aware of that. These guys get spotted a lot more easily than the Panzerschreck team does. Then we have the Schneider here. It's a nice 47 mil unit. It lays down the fire early in the game, and it's very good against armored cars and stuff. It fires 20 rounds a minute. I mean, that's great. It's got no HE, unfortunately, but this thing can kill a lot bigger tanks than it should have any right killing. Kills T-34s and stuff all the time. Because of the super high rate of fire, it tends to get a lot more penetrations than it feels like it should. Pack 38, always love these. Extremely cost efficient, do a great job. I would never leave these at home. Rashica, the ultimate power of the Romanian division here. This represents your 2K HE and your 2K AT. This thing is phenomenal. As we know from all the Romanian divisions, you're not playing a Romanian division if you're leaving either of these cards at home. You take one in A and B. And in B phase, then we have our TACCOM R2. This is a nice little weapon. For 40 points, you get a ZIS-3 driving around. It's got pretty good HE damage. It's got a machine gun as well. It's hard to complain. This is a solid unit that shows up in, what, 2 divisions? This one and 6th? No, 8th Cav. Excuse me. Yeah, good unit. Nothing to complain about here. And there's really not much else to take. Anti-air is another massive issue with this deck. Again, it feels like they built this saying, oh, this division's so strong in this tab, we have to make everything else suck because of that. Kind of like First Airborne, you know, where they're like, oh, you get no A and stuff. Like they gave it like big weaknesses to try to make up for its insane strength. This division's mediocre, and then they give it crap on top of that. Like it really, I'm very upset with the way they handled this division. 20 mils, terrible. They're awful. They're just bad. I have nothing good to say. Hotchkiss truck actually for 15 points is okay. This thing does actually help suppress things. Will it do it by itself? Not even close. But in conjunction with other AA pieces, it does actually help. I bring Hotchkisses in most of the time they're available because I actually do find in a lot of clutch situations having the Hotchkiss there does change it and makes the suppression happen. And then the 25 mil Hotchkiss. The 25 mil Hotchkiss is good, but you only get 4 with 1 vet. You do need 1 veterancy. I just don't think any of these weapons function well at all with no veterancy, which is tough because you need more of them. Yeah, this is a tragedy. This is an absolute tragedy. Artillery. This is a very good tab because it's got the Romanian beauties. It's got the 60 mil mortars. We're bringing them in double vet because if I'm bringing in more than 6, I'm doing something wrong, I think. Or my opponent's aggressively counter-battering me, and then I probably shouldn't be bringing more in anyway. Then we have the 100 mil artillery. This gun is one of the best howitzers in the game. With the 1 vet, it fires 10 rounds a minute. I would 100% vet this. For 2 extra rounds a minute, that is 100% worth losing 1 gun over. And then we have 4 in B phase. You don't need 6, so the veterancy, once again, is extremely helpful. Double vetting's not worth it because it only gives it 1 more round a minute, and that's not good enough for the extreme loss of availability at that point. Then we have the lieutenant artillery because we don't have radio on any of our other leaders, which really sucks. Do the recon even come with radio? No. You'd have to bring in the bike, and the bike is so bad, I have a hard time doing it. We could bring in the artillery observer, but at that point, I might as well just bring the leader. Like, why not just have the leader then? I mean, I arguably, you could... Okay, if I really wanted it, this is what I would do. I would take the Schneider out and put in this guy from the Schneider. The Schneider's nice. It's nothing like game-breakingly good, especially because you have the Pack 38 filling a very similar role. Yes, they're different, but they do serve a similar purpose. So let's just do that. It's going to leave me 2 points extra, actually. That means we can go back over here, right? Nope, tank. Infantry, we could get some more crappy infantry. We can't get more good recon, can't get more AT. We'll find the... Oh, Air Force. Okay, sure. Things we're not taking. More 60 mils, 81 mil mortar, the 76.2s. I don't know why you'd ever take those over the 100 mils. These 75 mils are very good. We talk about them every time they come up. They are very solid. I just don't think you need them. I think these other options are just better. So that's why we're not coming. Off map. This isn't even a good off map. It's only 90 points. I'll give it that it's cost efficient, but this is a very it will kill nothing. Expect this to not kill a single thing. Maybe it'll kill off 2 units and it'll probably kill the leader because every off map seems to kill a leader. But other than that, this doesn't do much. This is for suppression and rushing, and I understand that that might be very helpful. I don't care. I don't like off map. And then we have the air tab, which is another kind of kick in the balls where it's like, wow, this should be good, and then it's not. They give you exactly as many cards. So if you wanted to fill this up, you would have to use every single air card in the tab. Okay. They don't give... There's really no options is what I'm saying. You get this IAR, and you know I love an IAR, but this isn't the good IAR. No, this is the bombless IAR. This thing is kind of useless. I mean, air recon is useful, yes. but it's nowhere near as good as the IAR out of 5th Cav that has 8 bombs and can kill almost anything. Come on. Give us the bomb one. That, like, sucks. That blows gigantic chunks. Then we have the IAR 81C. Only 2 HE, only 2 50-kilogram bombs. This thing barely kills anything. It's not a good bomber. I'm taking it as a fighter because the fighter only flies 25 kilometers an hour faster. Both are abominably slow anyway. So you're unlikely to catch up to any enemy anyway. So I might as well put 2 50-kilogram bombs in it for 5 extra points. The only good thing about this plane is medium resilience. That's it. The medium resilience, which is good. I'm not saying that's not good. It's only 80 points. It's not like unreasonably costed, but it's not that good of a plane. It's just like, come on. Then you have the IAR with the rockets. Once again, These sometimes feel really good and sometimes feel really bad. They'll sometimes one-shot a Pack 40. Most of the times they won't. And it'll feel really bad. And these are 105 points. These are no longer, like, cheap. They're getting more expensive, and they're still quite slow-moving. The medium resilience is nice. Then finally you get to this IAR with a good bomb loadout. But, joke's on you, this IAR has bad resilience again. This is what I'm talking about. Why? Like, why can't you just have it an IAR 81C instead of M and give it the medium resilience? Like, why you got to bone this division more? Is this not historically accurate? I'm having doubts, guys. I'm having severe doubts. These planes look shockingly similar. Let's look here. Okay, so it has a little hook on there. This one's got the little hook on there. Oh, yeah. 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 The rest of the cards are crappy fighters. You do have the HE-111, but I'm not a big fan of this unit because the 8 bombs spread out too much, and a lot of times it doesn't get the kill. It is also very slow. Very good resilience, that's fine, but it is very slow. It is 110 points. This thing will kill things more consistently with its bomb loadout, but of course, again, it's just like everything. Oh, it's so frustrating looking back through this division again. 8th Infantry, 9th Infantry. God, I never get this one right. It's not very good. It's disappointingly bad. Like, it's just everything about this division is just short or just straight up awful. They've done this division absolutely no favors. How do you fix this division? Give it some actual infantry to work with. Get 2 cards of these at cheap assault. Why not? How is that going to break this division? Give it a card of AA that doesn't suck balls. Give it a plane that doesn't suck balls. Yeah, give it the IAR with the bombs. Why? Why not? Support tab's a Romanian support tab. That's what it's going to be. Maybe another card of tanks? I don't know. If you're going to make the infantry in an infantry division this bad, then you might as well give it some tanks. But yeah, 9th Infantry, it has its moments, okay? Before everyone goes in the comments is like, this is secretly awesome. I understand this division can hit really hard. It can, but every division kind of can do that. This one just doesn't. There's so many things about it that just make me shake my head and say, why, Eugen? Why do you hate this division so much? But if you guys enjoyed this, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and consider checking out that Patreon link down below. Thanks a bunch, guys, and have a fantastic day.